Hi folks, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. Happy Resurrection Day. Happy Easter, whichever you want to call it. I hope you have a very blessed day. Thank you for joining me. According to USGS, there was 2 earthquakes yesterday there in North Carolina. A magnitude 2.3 at 6:48 p.m. and then a 1.5 at 8:22 p.m. local time. This was not far from a town called Low Gap. Interestingly, the smaller of the 2 earthquakes, a 1.5, had a higher intensity level. It was an intensity level 4 than the 2.3. That had an intensity level of 3. The 1.5 was actually shallower, 3.1 miles below sea level. All earthquakes are measured from sea level. Intensity level 4 for the magnitude 1.5 means it was felt indoors by many, outdoors by a few. At night, some may have been woken up. Dishes, windows, and doors were rattling, and automobiles rocked noticeably. If you felt either of these 2 earthquakes, put your comment down below. Those in our community enjoy reading them and seeing what it felt like to you and what you experienced. Earthquakes in North Carolina are typically caused by the reactivation of ancient fault lines within the Earth's crust. The state is located away from any boundaries of tectonic plates, which are the most prone to seismic activity. However, there is still faults within the Earth's crust in this region where stress builds up along these faults, and this is called interplate earthquakes. Not far from this location in 2020, there was a magnitude 5.1 earthquake. It was one of the largest interplate earthquakes ever recorded there in North Carolina. Well, actually, it was the strongest earthquake in North Carolina in 104 years. The largest was, in 2011. That was the Virginia earthquake. Damage from the 2020 earthquake was actually larger than what they reported. At least 525 structures were damaged, with 60 with major damage, and 40% of those structures were a total loss. Distant earthquakes, though less common, that occur far away can also be felt in North Carolina. An example, the New Madrid earthquake of 1811 and 1812, which primarily affected the central United States, including parts of North Carolina, were among the most powerful earthquakes ever reported in North America. Although North Carolina is not directly adjacent to the New Madrid earthquake zone, the earthquakes were still felt there and caused some damage and shaking. There was reports of chimney collapse, structural damage, cracks in walls, and things like that. People there in North Carolina even reported seeing ripples and disturbances in rivers. Yeah, that far away from the New Madrid fault. Let me go there. When that occurred in 1811 and 1812. People don't think about infrastructures that could be damaged from another large earthquake, and there's a lot of talk about the coming solar eclipse causing another earthquake. There's been a lot of chatter about that, a lot of conspiracies going on. It's supposed to make a cross somewhere up over here in Jackson County. It's been said that on average, a total solar eclipse can be seen from the same place only once every 375 years. The path of the coming solar eclipse is supposed to cross over 7 different towns called Nibia. We also got the asteroid, the Devil asteroid, that's supposed to be visible during the eclipse. You can see here it's not far from St. Louis. There was a recent earthquake up over there that I reported, a magnitude 2.8. It was widely felt there in St. Louis. That one occurred just a couple days ago on the 28th of this month. The New Madrid fault zone is different than other fault zones. It's actually not a fault. It's an ancient rift where the United States was going to split in half at one time. I'm not saying there's going to be another earthquake. But if there is one, people don't often think about the essential facilities that could be damaged during a large earthquake. They very well could be completely destroyed. Medical care centers, police stations, schools, fire department, emergency operations centers, also nuclear power plants. There's a lot of nuclear power plants from the New Madrid and east to the United States. Dams and levees, and also hazardous material facilities. Then we got all the roads that could, have fractures and uplifts and bridge collapse, railroads, airports, bus facilities, different ports and ferries. They got a lot of ferries here that cross over the Mississippi River. Utility lifelines, communication facilities, potable drinking water, sewage, electric power facilities, natural gas pipelines that actually go through the Mississippi, oil gas lines. It would be definitely devastating for commerce here in the United States. Not just the flow of gas and oil that goes across the river, but think about all the goods that is being transferred from the East Coast to different parts of the West Coast. It wasn't just one earthquake that did so much devastation in 1811, 1812. There was hundreds of aftershocks. Crevices opened up. Over 10 new lakes were created during that earthquake because of subsidence. The most famous one is the Reelfoot Lake that was created because of subsidence. Our world is definitely different now than it was back in 1811, 1812. We rely so much on the new forms of electronics. Computer systems control everything from our lights, our power, our water, our sewage, things like that. Let me bring this back over to North Carolina. While North Carolina residents won't experience a total eclipse, they are still in for a celestial treat. They will see a significant partial solar eclipse. They will have anywhere between 80 and 85% of the sunlight that will be darkened by the moon, turning day into dusk for nearly an hour. This is much more significant eclipse for North Carolina than the one that occurred in October of 2023. During that period, the event only eclipsed 38 to 40% of the sun's disk. So are you prepared for a large earthquake? Yeah, people should be prepared. What are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.